That's what it was. Okay, it's a beautiful sight. Those are the hazards, and the left turn signal's working, and hopefully my son's going to come out in a couple minutes and hit the brakes for me so I can just double check, make sure the brake lights are working, but it's the same bulb. So I'm assuming that's the problem. Shout out to my good friend Justin, who suggested that I first check the pins on the connection, which seems obvious, but when you don't know what you're doing. So that was the whole problem. I had 2 pins here that were bent and they were pushed in, and I just pulled them out with some needle nose pliers, and everything seems to be working now. I may eventually change this out, you know, for an actual one that fits the truck. For now, the adapter works, but I'm just gonna have to be very careful when I hook this up to make sure I don't bend those pins. But seems to be working now. Just also shout out to my son Mitchell, who stood ready to teach the boomer how to use a multimeter, so we could figure out this problem from across the country. He was going to do that for me today. Great guy, Mitchell, you are a stud. Anyway, looks like everything's working. We'll just check the brake lights once my son gets out here, but that was the problem. Okay, so the only thing I have left to do to make this roadworthy, well, obviously I'm not hooked up, but when I am, the chain just barely made it, and I couldn't cross them. So I'm gonna have to just get some longer chains, which doesn't, okay, well, I'm sitting here saying this doesn't look like too hard of a job. I should be able to buy chains from like Harbor Freight or something, and all it is a bolt holding on, you know, the chain here, but how do you hook the chain onto this piece, or does this piece come with the new one? I will have to find out, but that shouldn't be that hard of a task. And then the trailer is completely roadworthy. Look at that turn signal. Now it's a 24 volt, I have 12 volt bulbs in there. LED. They're not particularly bright, but it is daylight out. I mean, it's definitely working, but I'll just have to see whether that's sufficient enough. I mean, I could always stick another turn signal light on there if I had to, but for now, as long as the lights are working, I should be good. Here comes the Hound Patrol. Yoshi's the quickest. All right. Trailer's up and running and ready for adventure.